Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 local news for Thursday, May 23rd, 2024. A man was arrested for suspicion of assault with a firearm after putting a handgun to a victim's head and pulling the trigger. On Sunday, just before 11 p.m., sheriff's deputies responded to an incident in the 6000 block of Ocotillo Avenue in 29 Palms. A witness told deputies that Alejandro Augustin, 27, walked towards his father, who was sitting inside of a car, removed a handgun from his waistband, and pointed the gun at the father's head. The witness said that Augustin pulled the trigger and that he heard a click before Augustin lowered the gun again. The witness told deputies that Augustin's wife took the gun away from him and then they both returned to their home. The witness told deputies that Augustin may have been drinking. Sheriff's deputies received a search warrant to enter Augustin's home, where they took him into custody. Alejandro Augustin was arrested for investigation into assault with a firearm and booked into the Morongo Basin Jail. He has been released on bail. On Tuesday evening, the 29 Palms Planning Commission met to clean up confusing and redundant language in the Development Code, and some residents voiced concerns. Reporter Heather Clisby has more.
With Commissioner Jessica Cure absent, the 29 Palms Planning Commission met this week to streamline segments of the Development Code. Resident Susan Peplau spoke up regarding the storage of RVs and boats in driveways.
Even though I may not like all my neighbors and the junk in their yards, I will support their property rights.
The commission confirmed that those living in single-family residential districts could still park their RVs and boats in the driveways within 5 feet of the street. The ban pertains to those living in residential, multifamily, high-zone density residential, and public zones. Resident Mary Jane Binge was concerned about height limits on art installations on a property setback. For example, a sculpture higher than 6 feet in a front yard.
Yeah, I just think it's a shame that you start limiting art in how tall or how, I think each one should be individually looked at.
Binge's concerns were echoed by Public Arts Advisory Committee Chair Anna Stump.
We do not believe that limiting new art, is a good thing for 29 Palms. When 29 Palms is an art town, we do not believe that new art should be punished.
The commission discussed and determined that the 6-foot-high limitation on front yard art should remain due to traffic safety, but emphasized that residents could install large art in the side and backyard areas up to 35 feet. Moreover, a resident could also apply for a variance, and the commission may rule for an exception. The next meeting of the 29 Palms Planning Commission will be Tuesday, July 16. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Heather Clisby.
Last night, the Morongo Valley Community Services District Board of Directors held a special meeting in Covington Park's multipurpose room. Reporter Gabriel Hart was in attendance and has this recap for us.
The board discussed overdue maintenance for the fire department's Medic Engine 461, currently stalling from a malfunctioning EGR sensor. With the district in the middle of a spending freeze and $31,000 over budget for vehicle maintenance, a quote was approved 5-0 for repair with a cushion of a 30-day net to pay. Another related action item was discussed and approved for annual preemptive fire apparatus maintenance to occur every June. General Manager Brittany Chavez agreed to update the public with ongoing maintenance costs on the CSD website for transparency. The board engaged with an open discussion with attendees, including the whole Morongo Valley Firefighters Union, regarding the 2024-25 preliminary budget they passed last week. Firefighters voiced unanimous concern with cuts to shifts for captains, urging the board to staff a captain, engineer, and paramedic for every shift and call at minimum, even willing to sacrifice their recent raises to make it happen. Since the budget had already been passed and posted, this led to further discussion with no immediate solutions for amendment, leading to an abrupt end to the meeting with suggestions of holding another special meeting with these items on the agenda. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Gabriel Hart.
To kick off Memorial Day weekend, Reach Out Morongo Basin is holding a special Memorial Day barbecue event in honor of those who have served. The community event is free for all seniors over the age of 60 and will feature cookout classics like burgers, hot dogs, potato salad, watermelon, and more. The event will also include music, prizes, and drawings for all attendees. The event runs from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. tomorrow at the 29 Palms Senior Center, located at 6539 Adobe Road in 29 Palms. Our desert is luring more and more interesting people with its stark beauty and quirky residents. On tomorrow's Z107.7 Up Close show, We will meet the owner of the new Very Very store in 29 Palms, business owner Rich Good, graphic designer, entrepreneur, and guitarist for the Psychedelic Furs. Good will talk to host Gary Daigneault about what brought him here and his 15 years touring with the iconic band. The Z107.7 Up Close show is tomorrow from 10 to 11 a.m. here on Z107.7. And finally, libraries have always been a source of knowledge and social services, as well as a great way to meet other people in your city or town. Here with info on how you can create your own is online news editor Robert Hayden.
You've probably seen them around town or in your neighborhood. Little free libraries have been popping up in the last few years, offering free books and other items to neighbors and passerbyers. Having a little library filled with books in your neighborhood can help give kids and adults access to reading material that they may not normally find. They can be made out of a lot of different things. Some are charmingly cute custom-built enclosures, while others have just been repurposed from old newspaper boxes or cabinets to make a wind and watertight way to share books and other things. Every time I see a little library, I find it impossible not to stop by and see what someone has curated. If you're interested in creating your own free little library, the Friends of the Yucca Valley Library are going to hold a free info session this Saturday, May 25th at 10 a.m. Along with information on how to create a little library, they're also going to have books for you to start your own, and there'll be door prizes including vouchers for little library building materials, courtesy of Builder's Supply. No reservations are needed, but please RSVP to the Friends of the Library so they can order refreshments. You can email them at yuccavalleyfol@gmail.com or give them a call at 760-228-3244. That's a little free library info session this Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Yucca Valley Library, right off Highway 62 and 247 in Yucca Valley. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Hayden.
That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear news happening, let us know about it. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm Jeff Harmatz.